Hello everyone, welcome to Even the Scales. Thank you for clicking on this video today, and I hope you're all having a good morning. My name's Donna, and today on my channel I'm going to talk to you more about the mind control abuse that the majority of my community, my family and the police have been carrying out on me here in Campbelltown, New South Wales. And today I'm pretty much just going back over a lot of the stuff that I have already spoken about on these videos, but that's really all I can do right now because my human rights have been taken away from me, my basic human rights. So all I can do right now is just keep speaking out about what's happening to me. First of all, though, I would like to do an acknowledgement of country and first acknowledge the Dharawal people, who are the true custodians of this land that I bring you these messages on today. I would also like to pay respects to elders, past and present, as well as extend my respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are watching this video today. So for those of you who haven't heard my story, my family, the majority of my community, and the police have been carrying out something called MK Ultra mind control on me now for some time. If you're not aware of what that is, this is when a large group of people come together to carry out premeditated acts of abuse on one person to psychologically torture them. So this is what's been happening to me, and it has been absolutely relentless over the past couple of days. This is carried out on people. Before this happened to me, I didn't really know what it was, MK Ultra. But if you look it up online, a lot of people don't survive it. And this is carried out on people to either cause them severe mental or physical illness, or death, or sometimes it just causes people to give up hope on their life and they will take their own life. So this is why this is being done to me. The police and my family have been carrying this out on me for over 2 years, but the majority of the community got involved in carrying out the abuse around a year ago. This is after I wrote a letter to the police explaining about all the injustices that I've been through over the past 9 years in dealing with family and domestic violence. So the justice system and the police started paying the community to abuse me as well. And this all started up about a year ago when the abuse got worse. And there's a lot of different motives behind why people are doing the things they're doing. For my family, a lot of it was greed and jealousy because they've stolen an inheritance from me that the justice system has helped them do. But for the police, it's just to escape accountability for the injustices that they have caused. And one of those matters is the fact that they have been obstructing the course of justice for myself for a long time, for many years now. They've been obstructing justice from taking place. This is because I have family members in the police force that have been protecting the criminals, as well as police officers that were connected to my family that have also been protecting the criminals. And there's even a crime here that the police are involved with that's connected to this family, where a police officer has committed a horrific crime of violence against women. So these are some of the things that they don't want being revealed to the public. And they're going to great lengths to try and escape accountability for these things. Since I spoke to you last, the abuse tactics have been absolutely relentless. They have quietened down a little bit over the past few hours. I think this is due to the fact that some of my videos are getting views on YouTube, so they know the truth's being revealed more and more. But there has barely been a moment when this community or the people that live around me haven't been trying to provoke me in some way with some kind of psychological abuse. Some of the things that have been done by this community are extremely cruel, cold, and callous as well. And there's no shortage of people that are putting their hand up to carry out this abuse because, of course, they're getting paid for it. Once again, the police have been very much involved in carrying out abuse over the past couple of days, just like they have for this whole year. They have stalked me for the last couple of days. They even followed me to another suburb to stalk me. They've used the highway patrol car, they use the siren. They'll just turn it on and off, and they'll do this many times throughout the day and through the night. Sometimes it's even like at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning they will do this. And they're doing this to, they also stalk me in the helicopter as well. They've done this over the past couple of days. And this is to intimidate me, cause me stress and anxiety. And it's also just to rub the fact in that they are not going to help me with any of this. So a part of this was that I have no help whatsoever. There's the police now stalking me. So hopefully that's coming out on the video. So yeah, this is what they're doing. And to carry out this MK Ultra mind control on me, a part of it was that I have to have like no help whatsoever. No one's allowed to help me. I have to be totally alone. So I've had to go through this whole thing totally alone. My family have been paid to deliberately isolate me. The people that I had close to me as well, friends and people like that, I'm pretty sure they were bribed as well to stay away from me and to just desert me. And there was even some very large organisations that I've reached out to for help that were also bribed to not help me. Some of those organisations actually carried out very elaborate setups as well to just cause me a lot of psychological pain. They went to a lot of trouble to carry those things out. And whoever is there seems to be one person that's coordinating this whole thing that oversees everything. And this person watches everything I do. Whoever this person is, they are a very, very cruel person. They're absolutely diabolical with the kind of sick and twisted things that this person sends towards me. And they've got to be some kind of sadist or something that gets enjoyment out of what they're doing. This person is just so sick with the things that they're thinking of. And they must have also, the justice system and this person who's carrying it out must have researched my whole life in great detail to be able to do this, to know the things that I don't like, the things that I like. And they've paid my family and probably a lot of the people that were close to me as well for this information to gain really intimate private details about my personal life. And they use it against me. They found out the things that I don't like, so they will make sure that those things are a part of the abuse that they're using. The things that I loved in life, they have taken away. And they're using even things that date right back to my childhood traumas and things like that. They are using those things in the cruelest way right now to carry out this abuse. I also have severe PTSD as well, so they know that I have this and they're doing this on top of all that. So the worst thing about this is that my basic human rights have been taken from me. And this is why I have to keep making these videos. and letting people know what's going on here. My freedom to have an authentic experience has been taken away from me because everywhere I go, everything I do, there are people sent to stalk me. So nothing is authentic. When I go out anywhere into a public place, there's just constantly these stalkers that come towards me to carry out psychological abuse. So they've robbed me of my freedom to have an authentic experience in life. And they've also robbed me of my privacy. And they're doing this because they have planted a listening device in my home. There's also one in my car. I'm tracked everywhere I go. All of my devices have been hacked, and whoever is coordinating this has people controlling everything that I see on the social media platforms that I use. So all the advertisements and everything like that, they're all being controlled and used against me in ways to cause me psychological pain in some way. The police and the community can listen in on my home. So I'm being subjected to some really degrading and humiliating treatment right now. It's very inhumane. And some of the people who live around me are carrying out abuse tactics. Like they'll go away for a while and then they'll think of something to do and then they'll come out and they'll carry that abuse out, and then they'll go back in their homes and then listen in on my home to check to see if it's affected me in any way, if it's caused me any pain or to lose hope or anything like that. So this is the kind of sick and inhumane thing that's going on. And it's hard to believe that this is actually happening in a country like Australia. If someone had have told me this was happening to them before this had happened to me, I would have found it really hard to believe. But believe me, every word of what I'm saying to you is 100% truth right now. The police listen in on my home, and as I said, if they hear me move through the night or anything like that, they will turn the siren on. This can be at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They don't care. This is what they're doing, and it's just to cause me that anxiety through the night. And yeah, even when I go out, they've started tracking me as well, and they'll send police cars to do that to me no matter where I am, even if I'm in another suburb. A lot of the people that live around me are involved. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. They're listening in on my home, and some of them have just dedicated their lives to carrying out this abuse on me. And this is to cause me serious illness or death that these people are doing this to me for. Some of them are just so obsessed with doing this. I swear it's all they do with their life. And they're getting a real kick out of it, some of them. And I've never seen the people that are involved in this that live around me. I've never seen a more cold-hearted and cruel bunch of people in my life. I never thought that people this diabolical existed before I started living here. And as I say, not all of these people are involved, but the ones that are the most evilest, diabolical people that I have ever come across in my life. They are relentless, and they're getting a kick out of it. If they're not mocking me, like, or doing something like that, like they'll listen to what I do in my home and then they'll do something outside my home so that I can hear it, where they're mocking me or just causing me some kind of emotional pain. They'll be projecting negative energy at me or something like that. They do that a lot. They're absolute creeps. They really are. And these people are listening in on my home, which just makes me sick. So some of them even they call in their friends and family to help them as well, to come around and help them abuse me. They do it for their entertainment. This video is playing up a little bit, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad. So yes, the people that live close to me, they set up a lot of stuff too. There's been a few nights there where the ones that are involved, they've got together and they will prowl around at night time and just deliberately make noises and things like that just to try and frighten me. And most of these people are older people, and this is probably the hardest thing to believe about the whole thing. Most of these, they're not young people, they are older adult people. The town, the community that's involved are also carrying out noise attacks on and off. I've talked about these a lot in my other videos. They just plan these noise attacks where they carry out noise all at once using any kind of transport, anything that has a motor. They'll use the noisiest vehicles they can find, bikes, trucks, trains, planes, anything that they can use to make noise and pollution they will use. Once again, this has quietened down a bit, I would say, over the past 12 hours or so, but I do think that is only because the videos that I have put up before this one are getting some views and they know the truth is out. Otherwise, they would still be doing it. I'm sure they would still be doing it because the authorities in this town haven't cared less at all about the regulation of the noise that's been created or the pollution. I'm also stalked everywhere I go. So it's not only in my home. If I go anywhere, of course, they have access to my devices, and there's also a tracking device in my car. And they follow me wherever I go with stalkers. So the person coordinating all this will send stalkers towards me to carry out some kind of psychological abuse on me. A lot of the abuse that they carry out on me when I'm out revolves around children and family, because they know that my family have deserted me. They've all taken bribes to be a part of this. And the first thing they took away from me was my grandchildren as a part of this abuse, because that was the thing I loved more than anything. And this is what a lot of the abuse revolves around. The psychological abuse revolves around family and children. And the people around me use this a lot too, to their advantage. And it's because the ones that are involved in it that live around me, they do have that access to me when I'm home 24 hours a day. So they are just constantly carrying out stuff to hurt me. And it's like they've just, the justice system, whoever's controlling all this, has just made sure that everything in my life that ever gave me joy has been taken away. Almost every business or organisation that I have used in the last 2+ years has been involved in carrying out some kind of psychological abuse on me. As I said, I'm tracked when I leave the house, and if I, look for where a certain place is or a certain product or anything like that online, they will know where I'm going, and they will send fake customers to that place to carry out abuse on me when I arrive. Yesterday, I went into a store and I was just absolutely swamped with stalkers. It was unbelievable. They came from everywhere. And sometimes they will just remove a product from the shelf. If I've searched it online, they will remove it from the shelf by the time I've got to the store. So I try not to search for things online or anything like that. I'll just go straight to the store and get what I need. If it's not there, it's not there. But this is the kind of thing they're doing. A lot of the things they're doing too are very subtle, that if you did not know what was going on, you probably wouldn't even notice what's happening. So they've made it this way so that if I say anything about these little things that are constantly going on around me that people are doing, it'll just make me look paranoid and I'll look crazy, because this is what they want. They want me to look crazy, because this is what the MK Ultra mind control does do to some people. Some people just give up on their lives completely from going through this. So they want me to look crazy, then they can lock me up as well. And I mean, with no family or anything like that supporting me, of course, this would be very easy for the justice system to do. So this is why they're doing it. The justice system have also tried to set me up for crimes, I'm sure, while this has been going on. I haven't even got the freedom in my house that I should be entitled to, because the listening device is in my home. If I even get up and I open a door to let air circulate in my house, they will start creating noise by sending very noisy vehicles up and down the street. They did this yesterday. I tried to do some gardening out on my patio, and they just constantly sent stalkers past and noisy traffic and things like that. So this is what they're doing. Even if I go to my mailbox or anything like that, they'll hear me pick up the keys in my home, and they will, whoever is coordinating this must have people around here on speed dial or something that are just ready to run into position to carry out abuse at any given moment, because this is what they're doing. If they hear me pick up my keys to go to the mailbox or to the bin or anything like that, like, they'll have somebody doing something outside. And the fact that I'm being provoked in public places, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. I believe that some of the incidents that have taken place in the past in public places where people have gone mad with knives and guns and things like that, and people have been killed, I believe that some of these incidents have taken place because of somebody that's been going through this mind control, because this is what they're trying to do. They are trying to provoke a mental health episode out of me, which they're never going to get because I'm very much in control. But I can understand how somebody who may not be so strong may lose it if they were going through something like this. So I truly believe that this is what may have happened in some of these incidents that have taken place in the past. I'm also a totally innocent person in all this. I've done absolutely nothing to deserve any of this, even to the people that have been involved with abusing me, the people around me that are involved and my family members. I've done nothing to any of them. I've been very good to all those people, or I was. And it was really shocking to me to find out that this is what was going on. In February or March of this year, my community and family set up a really elaborate way to cause me psychological pain. I was tricked into being taken to the local public hospital, Campbelltown Public Hospital, where I was admitted as an involuntary mental health patient against my will. I should never have been taken there. I was held there for 5 weeks, where during that time I was put through intense psychological torture by the doctors, the nurses, and the fake patients that they had set up. It's like they had set up the whole 4th floor of that hospital to specifically carry this out on me. And what they put me through in that hospital, if that didn't cause me a mental health episode, nothing would, because they put me through hell while I was in there. You can go back and watch that video if you haven't seen it. It's called The 5 Weeks That I Spent in Hell at the local public hospital. Yes, and this is in Campbelltown, New South Wales. And they were all involved. All the doctors, nurses, patients, all of them. The social workers, the cooks, the cleaners, all of them. They were all involved in it, and they were all being paid to carry out abuse in different ways. And I had to go back to that hospital a few weeks after that, and I was absolutely terrified about doing that. But I had to. I'd been waiting for elective surgery for a very long time. I had to have this procedure done. And it was very frightening because I had no support whatsoever to help me get through that from family, friends, or anybody. So I had to go back in and I had to go through that, and it was very frightening. And I was put through more premeditated abuse while I was in there that time as well, same hospital. And to be honest, I don't even know or trust whether that procedure was done properly. Why would I trust it with the treatment that the doctors and nurses had given me? So I really don't even know if that procedure was done properly. I've just got to hope that it was. So I've had to develop like really unbelievable control to be able to suppress the emotions that I felt going through this. I've had to survive it. And I've had to fight for my life every single day through this. Every single day alone, I've had to fight for my life without sounding like, I don't want to sound like, I don't want to be these people's victim. I don't want to sound, like I'm a sad case crying for help or anything like that. But this is the truth of what's been happening to me. I've had to fight every single minute of my life, every single day for the past year at least, just to survive. These people are relentless, and they are so heartless and cruel. There's also been people abusing children through this and animals just to try and provoke me. So I want to let people know that. The authorities know that this has been going on. The police know. No one does anything about it. They're letting it happen. They also cause delays wherever they can for me, delays and obstacles if I order anything online or anything like that, or if I'm waiting on a phone call from an organisation to get back to me. Whoever's coordinating it will make sure that that parcel is delayed or that I don't get the phone call back. So obviously these organisations are being told not to help me and to just create problems for me, and that's what they're doing. A part of this is also that I reported a pedophile in 2020 that the police have done nothing about. That person is still living in a community. The reason the police did nothing about this person is because they just wanted to cause me psychological pain. So it was all just a part of carrying out this psychological abuse. They did nothing about that person. And what they did a couple of weeks ago, I was leaving a shopping centre, and as I was pulling out onto the road, they had set it up so that this pedophile walked across in front of me just to show me that that person was still, free, roaming around in the community. That person was actually heading towards McDonald's during a very busy lunch hour as well. So the police know this. They've set that person up to do that, no doubt. This is what they're doing, this kind of thing. Many, many really disgusting lies have been told about me by my family and a lot of the people that I have around me that's involved in this. This was to keep people away from me. I feel this was to keep me from receiving any help, like just to tell these disgusting lies about me. A lot of them are really sick and disgusting lies that are absolutely not true. I know they've said I was a drug addict, alcoholic, and perhaps a prostitute, things like this, but I also know that there's some really disgusting, sick lies that have been told about me that are definitely not true. But this was to keep people away from me, to turn people off me so that no one come near me, just so that I wouldn't have help, because it'd be my family's worst nightmare if I was to get into a relationship with somebody, because then they know that I would have help and protection, because all the men in my family are abusive, all of them, every single one of them. And the women, they're all codependent on the men, so they just do anything they say. And when I walked away from that abuse and said I didn't want to be around it, this is when they started doing all this to me. So some of the other things that have been done to me while this has been going on, I've had fake reports put in about me to my real estate that are absolutely not true. I'm pretty quiet. If I do make a noise, it's by accident most of the time. And I'm a quiet person. I mind my business and keep to myself. But the people that are around me that are involved in this have put in false reports to the real estate just to try and have me kicked out of my home. As I said, I've done nothing to these people. Nothing. My car's been vandalised twice. I've had an attempted break-in on my home. And then I've also had a break-in in my home where people got in. It was members of my family, and they did this to steal my writing, to steal my work, because some of my family members weren't just happy stealing my inheritance, they wanted to steal my whole life, my spiritual knowledge, because I am a psychic channeler, so I had taken a lot of notes of my spiritual knowledge, and I am also a writer. So some of my family members broke into my home and stole that as well. And some of those things I reported to the police, and they weren't even followed up, because the police have been in on this for a long time as well. They've been obstructing justice. So that's another reason why it's been impossible pretty much for them to carry this out on me, because I see everything they do. I can see what's real from what's fake. So if I see somebody doing something to cause me psychological pain, well, I'll just think to myself, well, that's fake. So just don't take any notice of it, because I can tell the difference. But my family and the community have gone to a lot of trouble to carry out a lot of premeditated things during the last year. Oh, actually, over the past 2 years, my family and the community have done this. Some of my family members actually carried out some really elaborate setups. They went to so much trouble. They spent thousands, some of them, just to carry out psychological abuse on me. And lately, a lot of these people that have been involved in the community and the police have just been like putting out all of this sick, or sending all this cruel and sick abuse towards me, just constantly, like just relentlessly, because it's not working out for them. They know the truth's getting out, and I haven't become sick, I'm not dying or anything like that. And it's like they're just doing one thing after the other constantly, as if to say, no, you have to die, you have to get sick. So this is how relentless it has been over the past few days, especially because they're panicking. They know I'm putting these videos out and more people are watching them. And before I went through this, I just didn't even realize that such a large majority of the community actually was moralists. Like, these people have no morals, most of them, because it's the majority of this community that's involved. I think it's only a very small number of people that didn't take part in this. So it really showed me how many people actually have morals in the things that they do. And of course, when the police is letting this go on, of course the community thinks that it's fine to abuse me in any way that they like, because it's been absolutely lawless. The police have done nothing about it. As I say, there's even been children being abused through this, and they know this. So I've had no help whatsoever. I have no choice but to speak out right now, even if I've got to keep repeating myself over and over again until till the views pick up on these videos and more the word gets out there about what's going on here in Campbelltown, New South Wales. I want my life back. I want my rights back. So this is what I'm going to continue to do, because no one should be subjected to the things I'm being subjected to right now at all. And what they're doing actually goes against the laws of the United Nations. I'm sure it does. Like human rights throughout the world. It's going against that. So I'm just going to keep talking about it. If you've watched this video to the end, I'd like to thank you very much. If you could, I would really love it if you could share this video or like the video, just so that it may circulate a little bit more and get some more views. So once again, thank you if you've watched this video to the end, and I will talk to you on the next one. Bye for now and have a great day. God bless.